So you might need a social worker when help is required with social and practical tasks that you were able to do in the past, but you need some assistance with now. These include daily tasks of living. You may need some help to do your shopping now, cleaning of the house. You aren't able to do that as easily anymore. Your personal hygiene, meals, and self-care. Or other practical worries or things that you can't do anymore may be housing or transport. When you are not when your housing is unstable. That means if you've got stairs that you need to climb and you find it more difficult to do that, or your shower is not as safe as it used to be and you may need an occupational therapist to come and do an assessment and put some handrails up. Rental assistance, if you don't have any transport to and from treatments, and the distance to treatment and community mobility. Another example is family roles. You might be the person who has to take your child to daycare and you're not able to do that anymore. Care of family members that you need help with now. Respite for carers and relationship challenges. Other worries that may occur is financial concerns. You may be worried about the cost of treatments. You might need to speak to someone about financial planning or advice, just getting some information. Your insurance policies or superannuation may be looking different and you need some support to address that. If you are receiving government payments, that may need to be looked at or amended, and you just need some support from someone to help you with that, or loss of income altogether, what that looks like. Transition planning is another topic that we talk about as social workers and provide some support. End-of-life decision making is it's a difficult topic to discuss, but social workers can help you with that. If you need an enduring power of attorney, advanced care directives, writing wills, aged care assistance, and planning for people who are under 65 years old and what that would look like. You might need a psychologist when you find that life is more difficult to cope with and you need extra support. You may need to speak to a psychologist if you would like an assessment of your mental health because you're experiencing feelings of anxiety and depression while you are navigating a stressful time associated with your illness. You might need a psychologist when you are having trouble adjusting to change or when you are working through grief or loss as well. And grief or loss doesn't necessarily always have to apply to someone passing away. It may be the grief and loss that you're experiencing with the change of your circumstances based on your illness. Feelings of anxiety and depression may be influenced by a variety of issues, such as new diagnosis, flare-up or recurrence, upcoming scans or tests, adjusting to change and sadness, or stress about your circumstances. These are very big feelings to deal with, and psychologists can suggest strategies to navigate these. Psychologists help by exploring and talking to you about how you are coping with your circumstances. They can help you to develop strategies to address problems and worries. These strategies may include focusing on positive outcomes or positive emotions and identifying when you feel joy, pleasure, comfort, warmth. They may also encourage you to look at your communication style and whether you're fully absorbed in stimulating activities outside of your medical appointments, because medical appointments becomes the order of the day sometimes. Other strategies may include looking at other relationships that you have with others that are positive, nurturing and rewarding, or finding meaning in your current circumstances and your accomplishments, even in these difficult times. Psychologists can work with your GP and psychiatrist to determine if a prescription may be able to assist with your circumstances. Social workers and psychologists work in many different locations. They work in hospitals, they work in the community, and all other health settings. If you are admitted to hospital or attending hospital for treatment or medical appointments, ask your healthcare team if there is a hospital psychologist or social worker that you could speak to. Alternatively, you can access these services through your GP with a mental health treatment plan. This plan can provide you with Medicare subsidised appointments with either a psychologist or a social worker. You can also search for these service providers in your local area by looking at the Australian Association of Social Workers that you can find online, or for psychologists, you can refer to the Australian Psychological Society or the APS. The mental health treatment plan is a plan that you do with your doctor about treating a mental health condition. These may include conditions such as depression or anxiety that can be short-term due to your circumstances or longer-term due to a pre-existing condition. You don't have to have a pre-existing mental health diagnosis to talk to your doctor about creating a mental health treatment plan. Mental health treatment plan helps you to access eligible allied health professionals like psychologists or social workers. If you live in a rural or remote area, it might be harder to see a mental health professional. You may be able to access telehealth appointments or a telehealth video consultation. Ask your GP or your mental health professional if they offer this service. You can also search to find a health service tool on the Health Direct website for mental health, and they are under the telehealth services. The term palliative care comes from a Latin word that means to cloak or to surround. So palliative care is to surround people living with a life-limiting illness with the support to have a good quality of life. A palliative care social worker works as part of a multidisciplinary team to support and assist patients and families and carers by providing education and information about family concerns, illness, approaching end of life and the healthcare system. They assist with access to entitled benefits. They can refer and link to other services as appropriate, and they help you to communicate with healthcare providers. Therapy is like walking up a staircase. Your psychologist can be seen as the handrail of that staircase, which means they are there to support you as you take the next step. However, it is you as the person who is talking to a psychologist who need to walk up each of those steps. So psychologists are trained in the knowledge of behavioural change. They can help you address issues and learn new skills to help you change your behaviour as needed. But they cannot know what's happening for you unless you tell them and share what is going on for you. And the best way to do that is to be honest and transparent. Try to remember that the first few sessions of any therapy session is focusing on getting to know one another and determining the main reason for the appointments. So goals are set and plans are put in place. If you've had several appointments with your psychologist and the therapeutic relationship isn't working well, be open and honest about it. You may say at the end of the session, when they ask you if you would like to schedule or book another appointment, you could say, I really appreciate the time you've spent with me, but I don't think it's a good fit and I'm going to try and find a different therapist. Your treating healthcare team or GP will always be the best person or the best contact to talk to navigate which service will suit you best. It may take time to establish a good fit when you are seeking support from a psychologist or social worker. So talk to your GP, talk to your healthcare team about strategies to work around finding the best person to talk to.